So with the Switch 2 on the horizon, it looks like Nintendo's trying to make it easier for you to share your digital games across multiple systems. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And we'll just kind of start with how the current system works. I'm not going to go into great detail, but you basically have to set one of your Switches as your primary, and then your others will be, I guess, like a secondary. And then on your primary Switch, you could play those digital games anytime you want. But then on the secondaries, they have to be able to connect to the internet just to make sure that you're not playing it on the primary system. And there's no option to be able to share those digital games with anybody else that might, say, be on your Nintendo Switch Online family account. But today, Nintendo announced at their Nintendo Direct they're starting a new way of being able to share titles that are digital across multiple systems. And they call this new system virtual game cards. So kind of think, instead of having a physical card that you can eject out of your Switch and take it and put it into another one, you'll kind of do this virtually. So basically the way this will work is when you purchase a digital game, there'll be a separate screen that you can manage these virtual game cards. And from here you'll be able to either load a card or eject a card out virtually. So basically you'll be able to eject a game on one system and then load it onto the other, all of course virtually. Now there was a caveat at the bottom that does say an internet connection is required for both ejecting and loading. Now it doesn't look like you'll be able to sort of remotely eject a game if, say, you had a Switch at home and it was virtually loaded on that system, but then you took a different one with you traveling but you forgot to eject it before you left. You might have to call someone at home to turn it on and eject it for you. And then on that system you're traveling with, you'd have to connect to a hotspot somewhere in order to load the game virtually. But it does seem that once you load a game onto another system virtually, you don't have to keep an internet connection in order to play it, which was what the disadvantage was with that old system. If you had one of those secondary systems, you always had to have internet just to be able to launch the game. Now you will sort of have to pair your systems together locally in order to be able to set up this swapping mechanism. I guess Nintendo just wants to make sure those systems are in the same household. And to go along with that, they did add the ability for you to lend your games, the digital ones, to family group members. Now you'll be able to do this with up to 8 Nintendo accounts, and they all have to be connected together in a family group. Now with this method, you have to connect locally with wireless whenever you want to lend that game out to your family member. So again, you're not going to be able to add a friend that may live on the other side of town as a family member in order for y'all to share games together. But if you do happen to share a family account with somebody that doesn't live in your household, you can lend it out to them when you're physically together, and then after 2 weeks it will revert back to the original owner. And you'll only be able to lend out one game at a time, so you won't be able to do a big sloth of games and share them out with your friend. But I think considering you only have like a 2-week period for that lending, it seems like one game at a time would be plenty. And of course Nintendo does say that this will be all available on the Switch 2 as well. Now this feature will be coming to the current Switch sometime in late April, so keep a lookout for that update. So this does seem like a bit of an improvement from the old system. You will be able to just sort of eject a game virtually and insert it into another system. And then at that point, you won't have to worry about having an internet connection in order to play. So it seems to me like this kind of does away with the whole primary system setting. I don't know if that'll still be available if you turn this feature on. But let me know your thoughts. Do you have multiple Switch systems that you would take advantage of this with? Or perhaps you have family members that you now would be able to share your digital library with without having to just give them your Switch to play on. Drop your comments below and let me know your thoughts. And if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. It really does help the channel out quite a bit. I want to thank you for watching and be good.